Qualifying just happened. Qualifying just proved a lot of points that everyone was like wondering what's gonna happen. I mean, you saw a Williams performing well at the beginning of the season and not waiting for a specific track like normally Canada or just somewhere in the middle where everyone else just seems to fall off. Albon now qualified Sainz, and you've got, well, this color floundering in the top 10. All that more in this very short and condensed summary of what happened. So, as the thumbnail suggests, yeah, this proves that Max is the best. I don't know what I can tell you. I mean, he dragged that car to third place. Sure, it's not the worst car that he's ever put there. And besides, I don't think it's even a car that is preemptively that bad. But when you look at the guy that's driving the same car as him, his teammate, well, that was a horrible qualifying from his teammate. I mean, there was so much talk, right, about how he's going to, like, revolutionize the thing, or he's like the next Verstappen. That's why they chose him. Or he's a guy that would understand the car better. You adapt quicker because of his time in DTM. You would adapt quicker because of how he came in on short notice the first and second time of complete running out the season. Oh, there was so much talk about that. Oh no, Yuki is a hothead. Yuki would lose focus in the car. Yuki would make mistakes in this car. This car is very twitchy. This is how Lawson drives. It's how this and that. The discourse around, especially the people in the Red Bull camp, Helmet Marco and everything, were just literally trying to explain as to why they chose Liam, a guy with 11 races to his name, rather than a guy with 5 seasons. So they were all like, "Oh no, Yuki wouldn't fit the car. Yuki isn't this." But Yuki's been there 5 years. Well, isn't that the point of the junior team, so that you get to improve on your mistakes? I'm rewatching the 2021 season actually. Don't ask. I just chose to watch it. I rewatched the 2020 season as well. But you know what? I'm rewatching the 2021 season, both qualifying and the races. So I'm seeing Yuki's first season. I'm not just paying attention to the championship. I'm also looking at the where everyone else was like 4.5, 4 and a bit years ago, and Yuki was pretty bad. I think he only got into Q2. He only got into like Q2 or Q3 consistently, like in the middle part to the end of the season, and he was woeful. He was always crashing. I was having meltdowns on the radio. He was basically the opposite of what Yuki is today in today's qualifying session. He really, really was bad, and if it wasn't for Pierre Gasly, the AlphaTauri wouldn't be anywhere because Gasly was consistently finishing the top five, top 10, um, always the top 10 in qualifying, top 10 in the race. And with Yuki, it was always a recovery drive. It was always him, trying to reduce the damages. He was trying to get up there from qualifying P18, P16, so that season, right, compared to Yuki's last season or today's qualifying session, just shows that he's improved so much so that you can trust him besides Max Verstappen, and he would be really competent. And he would be the first rookie that has actually gotten experience from the junior team longer than, just a couple of races like Albon. I think it was half a season. Then he was brought in to replace Gasly, and also Gasly when he was brought to replacing Kvyat. It was it was just the same. His first season, couple of races, improved in the Toro Rosso, and was booted back in. So I mean, the what I'm just trying to say is that the discourse, right, in this game or in this sport, you're only as better than your teammate. And if your teammate, first of all, is a four-time world champion, that can drag cars that aren't supposed to be near the front. He was 0.4 seconds behind the pole time from Lando Norris. That's for the car that's supposed to be below Ferrari, even though Ferrari like flopped this season. You've got someone who can drag the car to places it's not supposed to be. And you're supposed to be at least bare minimum, doing what Isaac Hajar did. I feel like Hajar and Lawson are in the same situation. They are in a car for the first time with a experienced teammate. In this case, it's with Hajar, it's Sonoda who's put a P5 this for the Australian Grand Prix. And Hajar did what Lawson didn't, which is just stay calm, do as you can. The car is good enough for Q2. In fact, the Red Bull is always good enough for Q3 no matter what happens. It's always good enough for Q3. Just put a Q3, even if you don't set a lap, do P10. As long as you're in the same ballpark with Max, it's cool. That's what Hajar did. He qualified 11th, only what, six places behind his teammate, and he was only 0.006 seconds off the P10 to qualify into Q3. So Haja should be like an example to Lawson that wait, this is what you're supposed to do the next round. And yeah, this just like destroys every single thing that Red Bull tried to swing at. Oh, Liam is better. The test in Abu Dhabi will show this and that. It's like, come on, man. So that's with Lawson, and of course, like I've earlier alluded, McLaren have locked out the front grid. It was expected. McLaren finished the season really strong since Miami. They were always up there in qualifying. They should have had a champion. They did win the constructors, of course, but they should have had a drivers' champion. But the less said about that, the better. And we've got a new Lando. I mean, he set a time, then it got deleted, and he didn't panic. He just circled back and did what he could. There was a good battle for pole, in fact, with Piastri. Piastri is not showing like he's gonna be a rollover or someone's gonna not fight for positions when they're there. He was fighting for P1 and he was there. He was lighting up the screens. That was before, of course, in Q3 when Max set the fastest time in the initial runs. And wow, I when I saw that, I was I was like, okay, okay, okay. I see you, Max. I see you. Then yeah, of course, McLaren came through. First was Piastri across the line, set the fastest time. Then of course, less than Lando found 0.004, I think. Uh, Seconds just set the pole time, and now he's starting on pole, with of course Piastri second and Max Verstappen third. His time was good enough for third, and it's a solid qualifying for McLaren. It's what they're supposed to show. You're constructors champions. You're the team presumably with the fastest car, and they are showing that they've got drivers to utilize that fastest car. As much as Lando, you can see, as much as I've also had my grievances with Lando not capitalizing as much for the championship last season. But again, if it was at the beginning, I would so and so be like really frustrated with him. But it was from like what Miami onwards, and Max had a lead where he already won like what he already won 4 or 5 races in the beginning the season besides Australia. I think he went like six. Yeah, besides Australia. Um, so if if this Lando, right, from the start having the fastest car doesn't win the championship, or at the very least loses the championship to like 2 or 3 points, or like something that is beyond him, then sure, that one will let it slide. But look out for the inter battle in McLaren between Piastri and uh, Lando, because, like I said, Piastri doesn't look like someone who's gonna roll over and just let Lando get a win when there's a win to get. So yeah, I'm really excited for this season. Of course, P3 Max. The Ferraris were outqualified by, well, one Williams in Albon qualifying P6. Then P5 was like I said, Yuki Tsunoda, and lo and behold, George Russell. I did say it about George Russell in one of my videos. In like the video that's before this one, I did say if you're there, you're there, right? He's there, P4 with, of course, his other rookie teammate down in the dumps, but I'll come to that later. I did say if you are consistently there, getting the best of the rest positions or points, you're going to be somewhere up there in the championship. So with McLaren looking like it's going to be a front row lookout, if Max wants to win a fifth, he should just be there, like he's done now, third place. Same with George if he wants to get his first championship, or at least look like he can make a championship run, then the best idea is just to be there best of the rest. If P3 is available, get it. P4 was available this qualifying session, and he did get it. Solid lap, and really did well in the Mercedes. With of course P5 being Yuki Tsunoda out qualifying his teammate, which I mean rookie teammate, sure. That's we I understand that, but out qualifying a Red Bull. I already touched on that and the significance of it. P6 was Albon, of course. There was Alex Albon doing very well in the Williams. Like I said at the beginning, a Williams being good at the start of the season rather than, at random tracks shows really good improvement from Williams already as the science effect is almost working. But again, when you've got someone that people are saying, of course, like, oh, he's the one that brought Williams back into Q3 consistently, then he gets out qualified by the guy that supposedly is a fraud. The talks start to get a little fuzzy. I love Carlos, but guys, let's calm down. Carlos and Albon to me are almost like the same because I mean they're all Red Bull drivers at the end of the day. It's just that from different eras, from the Toro Rosso and the AlphaTauri era. So to me, I think if the roles were reversed and Albon had a chance at Ferrari, I also think Albon would have nicked in two wins. Yes, yes, he was at a Red Bull car that was uh, perfect for podiums, of which he did get. But guys, it's a Red Bull car that's built around Max, and Max at the time was, of course, gearing for his championship run, and well, what you have to do, man. So you can say it has a bad take, but it's a take nonetheless. So okay, I've got 2 minutes left. So I'm gonna speed run through the rest of like talked at length about the top 10. Of course, yeah, so that was P6 Albon, P7 should we Charles Leclerc, of course, the Golden Boy Ferrari dude is gonna be up there, even though the car is bad. I mean, when this season 2020 2021, the car was horrible and he was still leading race. Like I said, I'm rewatching the season. He was still able to lead a race for a considerable amount of time whenever people fumbled, and he was doing good in that car. That was really really bad. So the car looks like it's bad. I don't know. I don't know. The all the talk at the off season was just how this car is the best and this car is gonna win the Ferrari championship after 14 years. And then now it's barely getting past a Williams and a AlphaTauri. I don't. Okay, I don't know. And Hamilton's first session with Ferrari had a spin in Q2. That was really unfortunate, but yeah, solid P8. I think that's what messed up, or supposedly messed up, Jack Doohan's run, which looked like he was going to make it into Q3. But the margins were so thin. The cars are so close together. But this is what happens when you are approaching the end of a cycle. All the cars have been upgraded to their fullest potential, and well, they're all basically the same car now. Just the engine reliability and the driver's now ability is what counts, especially with specific tracks. So yeah, Lewis did okay for a start. At least he wasn't languishing in like he didn't fail to qualify out of Q1, for example, as newer personnel in their teams have done this season. I mean, this the beginning of this qualifying session. So at least he showed that he still has his qualifying prowess, even though he's nearly 40. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a Ferrari Lewis season, even though I'm not the fondest Lewis man, but hey, it's greatness. I'm looking at it. I get to see him in red. It's a long time seeing such a prominent driver in red. Last time was Sebastian Vettel, and I really love Vettel. So especially his end of his last season with Red Bull, even though it wasn't the best. Of course, he was outdone by Daniel Ricciardo, but I think that's where Vettel decided to became more of a human. I don't know if people could, if you know what I mean. Like he became more likable, especially when he joined Ferrari. You know, he's joining the team of his boyhood hero, of his childhood hero, who he kept competing with for the is it the race of champions? Yeah, the race of champions. Consistently being teammates with your hero sounds amazing, and the fact that he gets now to drive for the team that his hero did, that his hero made the team, well, the Ferrari it is today, and yeah, it was really nice to see, and I get to see that with Lewis in red. It's a culture shock. I'm used to seeing him in dark colored overalls and dark colored shirts, even though the Tommy Hilfiger white is slaps. Or basically just seeing the Mercedes Benz logo on the side of his chest, but now it's just a Ferrari shirt. It's like, wow, it's a Ferrari shirt and a cap. Like I rarely saw him in caps. The fact that I get to see him in a cap now is very interesting. Ferrari have got this thing where like you have to wear the full gear. I think you've all noticed Charles is a very good dresser, and whenever he pulls up for the races, he just comes in the Ferrari shirt and anything he decides to wear at the bottom, and the Ferrari cap is always there. Same with Carlos Sainz, the cap was always there. So that's the thing I had in my head. I was like, I would wonder if that rule applied to Lewis. I mean, as much as like I said, I'm not the biggest Lewis fan, but Lewis is a big boy. He's one of the guys that is one of the most popular, well, not celebrities, the most popular sportsman in the world. You could argue he's in the same stratosphere as people like Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, uh, Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, that's in tennis and that's football. Lionel Messi as well, and he's really, you might not watch Formula One as much, but you know who Lewis Hamilton is. That's why his transfer to Ferrari. I'm talking too much about Lewis. Okay, point is, for his first qualifying session, not bad. Even though his fans are already saying that it was sabotage. Team LH, you will never cease to amaze me. P9 was Gasly. I mean, I touched on his teammate, Jack Doohan, who finished 14th. So yeah, Alpine also looked good. The first race of last season, they were rock bottom, like rock bottom, and only scored points after I think 8 rounds. They were bottom of the pack. Haas were doing better than them. Haas were doing better than Renault or Alpine. But now Alpine, of course, both cars got out Q1. Doohan, of course, was a bit disturbed with his run in Q2, so finished 14th. So it looked like there was some pace there that was sort of deflated after seeing Lewis crashing out. I mean, spinning out. So yeah, Gasly P9. So that's a good result for Gasly. And yeah, the haircut is really working, huh? Aerodynamics. They wear helmets. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Then yeah, P10 was Carlos Sainz. Like I earlier alluded that the guy who's brought so much change couldn't utilize that change in qualifying. But since when has Carlos Sainz been the best qualifier? He's an all right qualifier. When the car is good, it's a huge crutch for him. I mean, it's a huge help for him. But when the car isn't the outright fastest, I back Albon to out qualify him. In fact, one of my predictions, I'll make another one. One of my predictions is that Albon is going to out qualify Sainz by, let's say, a 5 race margin. So he drown Carlos Sainz in qualifying. No matter how good or bad the car is, I feel like Albon will be the car above it. But in the race, that's where Carlos shines and does his thing and finds his way above. So I expect Carlos to go up, maybe P6, then Albon maybe drops like P5. I mean P7. We'll see. It's scheduled to be raining tomorrow, so yeah, that's the top 10. Talked about extreme detail, and then I think from 11 to 20, I could skim through them. So I said Haja already qualified. Was only 0.006 tenths. Oh, so that's 6 tenths, right? That's how you say it. Then if it's 0.6, it's 600s, right? Because that's ones, tens, and hundreds. Yeah, I think that's how it works. So yeah, he was 6 tenths off. I sound more educated. I'm gonna have fun editing. Um, so yeah, he sounds. Oh wait, what the fuck? He's P11 in the white Red Bull. Mwah, beautiful livery. So yeah, then P12 is Alonso. P13 is Stroll. I mean, with those guys, I'm not surprised. Aston just look like they're plateauing from the heights, the dizzying heights of 2023. They haven't reached that those heights in a while. P14 is Jack Doohan. Then P15 is Gabriel Bortoleto, who surprised me getting out of Q2 when his teammate is the guy that kept putting the Haas in P6 and P4 last season, which is Nico Hulkenberg. Our qualifying Nico Hulkenberg is really impressive. So he's a rookie I'm keeping an eye on. To be fair, he's low key the fastest rookie compared to the machinery that they have. Because yeah, I could say Hadja is the fastest rookie. I mean, he's P11 and he's well above Bortoleto. He's above Bearman, who didn't set time because of his car. He's above Kimi, who had a mistake, I think, as well. Same with Lawson. So yeah, but with relative to the car performance, Bortoleto was outperformed the hell out of that car. Because, like I said, he has Nico Hulkenberg as his teammate, the guy who's so good at qualifying, and yet he outqualified him. So yeah, Bortoleto, keep an eye on him. I would do that as well. So of course P16 is Hulkenberg. P17 um, should be Kimi Antonelli. Then P18 is Lawson. Then 19 and 20 is Ocon and Behrman. Behrman had a car problem, so he couldn't even set a time. I think it's because of how he smashed his car yesterday in free practice. So I don't know. I just heard he couldn't go into gear 5 or gear 4. I'm not pretty sure. But yeah. So when it comes to Lawson, I've already spoke extensively on why his performance was horrible, and Kimi, I could give the same criticism as well because his teammate is up there and yet he wasn't. So uh, Kimi needs to pull up his socks.
Okay, silly me. I found out that the reason why he was kind of bad is because he destroyed his car. Uh, as he went wide, I think that was over 10, 15. I mean, yeah, on turn 15 or turn 16. But he had some damage with his car, and he also was having troubles in keeping his tires cool. So that's messed with his time. But still, what I said stands.
So was Lawson, but the difference is Lawson didn't have anyone. I mean, Kimi doesn't have anyone he was competing for the seat with. That's why it's more damning for Lawson. But yeah, that's qualifying. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.